Hey there, Switch fans. It's me, Switch Cat. Today we're playing more Final Fantasy, or World thereof, World of Final Fantasy Maxima. Why is it so hard for me to remember? Whatever. So we've got it switched to where we've got English voiced dialogue, and we're picking up where I left off, outside of recording. So before we start, this is your fair warning. This may contain things that could spoil the game for you. I don't know, because I'm sure that it is something you haven't seen if you haven't played it before. And I don't know what I will see during this playthrough. But if that doesn't matter, then whatever. Let's go. Sometimes people don't care. Like, I will watch game videos, but a lot of times I'll watch the game videos after I've played the game. Now let's get our volume adjustments done. You know, all these games have different music and voice things. It's probably pretty safe. Okay, so anyway, we're in the Crystal Tower, and to avoid too much backtracking or story information, the Crystal Tower is near the end. Hang on, let's see if we can see on the travel menu. I will show you where the Crystal Tower lies, that you mightest become acquainted therewith. Okay, Crystal Tower is a dungeon. It's way over there. You can see the other regions have these chains. That's a story element. Needless to say, that's bad guys or whatever. I wonder why there's a guy out there in space. You see that cube there? Whatever. Anyway, right now the Crystal Tower is way up here, and it is the one that's got the highest level bad guys in it. So, at the present time, and over the course of the weekend, I have been using the Crystal Tower to train some of my mirages. What is a mirage, you may ask, and if so, I shall expound upon it for you. Mirages are basically this game's Pokemon. There. Real simple. Let's see if we can run into an encounter. Hello. Now I have two.
I won't hold back.
Right, let's do this.
Right, let's do this. I've become unused to the English voice acting, so bear with me. But anyway, what you're seeing here is the undead princesses. One is the real one with the Starbuyer name, and the other one is the one that I've evolved from a... what is that? Death Skull. But these undead princess monsters are way overpowered. But what I'm going to do is basically just spam like dark and whatever. Unholy darkness. Yes. You'll pardon me fast forwarding the fight. We'll do one at regular speed. Go. Now, to keep from spoiling it too much, I'm not going to explain necessarily how I got them, or why the cat girl is there instead of the sister, or why Cloud is there instead of the sister. I'm sure if you're really extremely curious, you can Google it, or hit me in the comments and I'll try to explain it a bit. But these guys don't actually pose any threat to us. I mean, they kind of do, but not really. So I'm just messing with them. I'm farming experience. It's stacking up. Okay, stacking, as you probably noticed, combines the party into big, tall columns. I mentioned this in the last video that I did, and it's essential for fighting some of the bigger ones. But the neat thing is you can unstack to do strategic, like, item usage and stuff. It comes at a risk, but I have found that especially when you're fighting bosses that can't, like, do a lot of attacks in a row or that are very slow, if you unstack to, like, spam items, give yourselves ethers or anything like that, you can do that. but I find that my need for it is very rare because I grind levels and become strong enough to where it's not necessary, so whatever. Okay, so right now, the best part about these two monsters, these undead princess monsters, is that they heal. And I'll set attacks, and then I'll set it to auto. Because they heal with knockouts. Like if I knock that guy out, I'll be healed. I just need to watch my topple levels. And use a wobble stopper if I get to where I'm going to get tipped over. It's getting close on Cloud's team. Yeah, there. So I'm going to I just took a capture. I'm going to fast forward it. See how they healed a little bit? Okay, so hang on. Wobble stopper. And then man stack. Which is funny because the only male character on the man stack is Cloud. That's basically all of the monsters in this whole team were female. Let's go. Abilities. Darkness. Miss. Slow. How come that missed? Whatever. I want this one. Get confused. I'm just using all of its abilities now because of videoing. What else we got? We did Dread Gaze. Slayer. Go. Love it. You can see, let's see if do we have enough for anything else? Not really. You do a cure. Ah. Just fight and kill. Go. At high speed. Like, I don't want to say that this team breaks the game, because there are bosses these guys would have a hard time with. But the fact that they can, you know, blind an enemy and make them slow and heal themselves and all kinds of other stuff.
That was a good fight.
Good job.
Yeah, good job.
It makes it to where it can be very easy, especially when you're grinding levels, because anytime they knock somebody out, they heal. So, especially if you're fighting like a horde of little weak monsters, they'll just keep going. They'll go forever because they'll stay healed. You won't have to use items. I got clear, Chris. Yay! Whoa. What do you want?
Gimme.
What? Okay, here. There's no way I couldn't have gotten that, so it's like, that's a little redundant. I haven't gone downstairs before. What?
Gimme.
Okay, get it. Yeah, I don't know, get it. I don't know why I have two of those. More down. Now I'm starting to get curious. What?
Gimme.
Fine. Do I have any more? Yes. Because going up the tower, you encounter bosses that drop them. Or mini bosses, I guess strong monsters that drop them. Don't be another one. Ah.
Gimme.
What? Yes. I don't have one.
Gimme.
And now you see the game in a nutshell. Back we go.
Right, let's do this.
Okay, this is a good example. These guys are going to be... I'm not going to say they're going to be pushovers, but they'll be easy. So let's see if we can just knock the entire thing out in auto mode. Which is my favorite way to grind EXP. Ting. Come on, guys. And just in case you're wondering, I've already imprisoned them, so I don't need to now. You see how that circle forms around them? Done.
Well, that ought to do it.
Oh, yeah.
We got the experience. We got the healed. Good to go. Makes it nice. One of the things that I'm really enjoying about this game is the Pokemon-like element of having all the different monsters you can get to fill your various elemental requirements, etc. However, one good thing is if you go to high-level areas like this and you build a stack and you like work a couple in that aren't strong, that they'll level up. You know, they'll get to almost the same level as the rest of your team very fast. Which, if you're like me, some of the old school elements of the turn-based RPGs,
Come on, bring it.
Let's begin.
they can be pretty tedious, and this makes it to where it's not. Fast forward, let's go. Boom, healed. Alright.
That wasn't so bad.
Gives himself a high five, or herself a high five. So I've been having a lot of fun with this game. I'm not going to necessarily be able to offer much because, like I said, it is a story-driven game. And I'm doing what I can to play it and have a good time with it on video because I want to play it anyway, but not spoil it. So I'm just limiting myself right now to this dungeon. Although I may go to one of the towns later. Oh no, back attack, no! Fast forward.
Yeah.
Yeah! So, as I was saying, I like simple stuff. This is very relaxing kind of experience. It's not really extremely stressful. I like easy. I mean, if the game's not naturally easy, then whatever, you know, I'll try to deal with it. But if it is easy, then I'm not gonna complain. Easy's fine. Which I guess is kind of interesting because my general take on like whether or not an easy mode should be required or whatever, I don't think it should. I don't really care. If there is one, a lot of times I'll use it, especially on the channel. And then maybe off camera, I'll try the harder modes and, you know, get angry and whatnot and, you know, do the whole AVGN thing. But I do like easy. Especially on a lazy Sunday afternoon.
We got this.
I guess
You
we're
just
doing
grind
this.
experience, MMO style, on auto. Can't go wrong. I'd like to see if I can get their
Alright.
Mirage tables done. Let's have a look. Alright, so, Mirage boards. The game will explain all of this if you ever buy it and want to play it, but your Mirage board is basically how you set up your techniques for all your dudes and dudettes. So, we've got Undead Princess. And the Undead Princess, see how she has the star? That's like the story character original Undead Princess, whereas the other one is evolved into an Undead Princess from another monster. The star-having ones have more of these. So, you know, better, I guess. Anyway. Revivify gradually restores HP. That's a keeper. Possession Rush. No! Where am I seeing that? Oh, 3. Hypnosis. Accuracy. Magique. What's this? Dark Converter. Restores AP upon taking dark damage. See, it's just a very overpowered Mirage, really. I think the combination, you know, puts itself in a position to where it's just very good for utility. The other one that's ridiculously powerful is the original... Where is it? Princess Goblin. So as you can see, it doesn't evolve or have any transfigs. But it's got all these... Move. It's got all these stat modifiers and stuff, and moves and specials. So it basically turns into being this really tanky healer type. Which is awesome. Of course, this one needs more HP because I need the HP, like expendable ribbon. Look at that. The first status ailment incurred in each battle is nullified. It works on almost everything. It's amazing. I love it. So we get that one. We have, thank you. See, we have any that are 2. That's 2, so raise. Okay, so now it's got Cure, Cura, let me see, Cura, Protect, Isuna, Flash, Princess's Charm, which is basically a knockdown, Raise, which is Revive, and Expendable Ribbon, which protects her stack from, and then Auto Phoenix, and I think there's Auto Potion up here somewhere. So, gets knocked out, Automatic Phoenix. So, if you want to set up a healer stack, that's the one. But the other Goblin Princess isn't exactly the same. Like, if you evolve a Goblin Princess from a regular Goblin, it has very similar stuff, but the overall total at the end of the day, when it's maxed out, the Princess Goblin with the star, I believe, has better stats. And then this is a... what is it? Quacho Queen evolved from a Quacho. So this is the original form. I don't have Quacho Queen unlocked yet. Or at least caught yet. But see, this has very little. Very few things. And I understand that the star having one would this whole area, you know, would be full of different stuff. So while it's a very mighty Mirage, much more so than its original form, it's not as powerful as the story original, which would have a star. Where's another one I've got? Ifrit. Okay, this is the real Ifrit, captured in the Colosseum. And he's got a lot more stuff. For what it's worth. But yeah, if you want to capture the various princesses and whatnot, you've got to play the game. I'm not going to necessarily ruin that for anybody. But if you want to know, I mean, I can tell you. But maybe somebody watching this would feel like they've been robbed by knowing so. I'm trying to be sensitive to that. Miss, I don't know if this video would be boring or whatever. I'm having a good time. You know, somebody might be like, hey, why don't you do anything, Switch? Why don't you play games and do a good job? I'm so bored watching you, man. Well, maybe this isn't the video for you. I don't know. I like this kind of thing. These grindy RPGs where you just kind of like turn your brain off. Put it literally into auto mode. What's another one that does that?
Let's do this.
Let's do this!
Here we go!
Tales of Vesperia does that. Okay, while we're doing this, I've got a funny story about Tales of Vesperia, which I did play part of on the channel. Feel free to dig around in the videos and find it. But so, okay, Tales of Vesperia has a lot of anime cutscenes and a lot of talking, a lot of dialogue. Yeah, you jumped in, blah, blah, blah. Just a second. Okay, so it has a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of anime sequences and stuff like that. It's fine. It's great. It's a very story-driven game, and it's fun mainly because of that. Because the various characters and character development gives you this sense of, you know, watching some dramatic tale unfold rather than just game all day game. Let's play game. So, it is a lot of fun to play, but at the same time, there is a difficulty curve since you have to do like the Street Fighter enemy encounters where you have to button mash and attack and move and all that. That's not for me. I don't find that very interesting.
Here we go!
So, let them, while they're going through this. So anyway, like I was saying, Tales of Vesperia, you can set all the battles to full auto, and you can set up some pretty simple AI rules for your whether they use items and stuff. So what I've been doing is working with the boy and the daughter, and been like, hey, you want to grind out some levels on Tales of Vesperia in auto mode? So, you know, they just take the controller and walk the dude around the overworld and encounter monsters and wait till the battle's over, just like this. Get the experience, move to the next one. It's become like a part-time job, you know. You're like, hey, you want to make some money? It's just power level this guy. Give me some money. That way I don't have to do it, and I just play through the story. That way my characters are 10 levels stronger than the boss. Yeah, it's cheap, whatever.
We did it.
We did it!
Victory!
Yay! Next. Next. And so, in case you're wondering, one of the reasons why I'm not checking the what you call it, mirage boards every single time is because they don't gain a lot of SP per level at the higher levels, so there's no point. It's, you know, every 3 levels, every 5 levels, something like that. Another thing that's great is those save spots, so you just refill everything. So, even though playing on auto with the zombie princesses is basically keeping everything full anyway, you encounter a save thing and it's full, and you can travel, and you can warp out, and you can change your monsters. So it's like you got access to Bill's PC at every save point. Like I said, it's a very forgiving game. It's very fun, but not like... It's not like it's trying to be hard just for the sake of being hard, but it's long enough to where you do kind of have to do this to get by in certain states. I will say that I have been beaten by one boss in the game, and I don't think it spoils it to say what it is. There's a great big, what do they call it? I mean, I gotta undo this. Gotta put a wobble stopper on the girls' team. No! Oh man, come on! Oh well. Attack then, whatever. Come on, come on, come on, come on! Alright. Okay, see that thing there, that pale tonberry? There's a great big one called the King Tonberry. That was the boss, one of the only bosses in the game that managed to wipe my party out. It did like, what was it, like Revenge or Payback or Vengeance or whatever, and just did like 5,000 damage to everybody all at once. And I think that it was just collecting, or saving up the damage that it was taking from the melee attacks, and just let it all back out. Something like that. And it didn't happen the second time that I fought him. I used mainly magic that second time, so... But, automatic. If I can figure out a way to keep him from toppling, like automatically not topple, it'd just be, this would basically be your automatic EXP grinding team. Because they'll take him out, they'll both heal, they'll move on.
I beat you good.
I beat you good, haha. No offense to the English voiceover people, I'm sure they're doing their best, but like I said, I live out here in Asia, I spend a lot of time in Japan, a lot of time in Korea, a lot of time in various parts of this part of the world, and I've gotten used to hearing that type of voice acting and that type of acting on TV, so hearing the English one is kind of like, it's not that it's bad, it's just that I guess it misses the mark of my expectation a little bit. And that's not me being like some kind of linguist. I mean, I do understand a lot of what is said, but at the same time, it's like you get, your ears get used to a certain thing, you hear something else, and you're like, oh, what? So, something, whatever. I'm just talking to myself on videos, talking to the camera, shouting into the... Okay, here's a big one. So this is one that I can't just auto because I have to use strategy. But once they get to where they're fighting the Mithril Golem, then it's all, I guess, good. Easy. Take out the little guys, because that Mithril thing has so much HP and defense that you'll just have to wail on them for the rest of the thing. And having lots of guys just means you're going to be absorbing more damage while you're doing it. Whatever. Just gonna automatic you to death. Hey, you go ahead and do that, it doesn't matter. Done.
No trouble at all.
Predictable.
Exactly. My sentiments exactly. So a lot of these guys leveling up. Like, there's one up there, Bina is a sylph, and I don't have the fully evolved version unlocked yet for whatever reason, and so there's like 30 Mirage skill points not yet invested, because it's totally maxed out in its current evolution. See, Mirage Bordo. See, I haven't unlocked this yet. And I guess I could Google it, but why? I mean, just play the game, have a good time. But yeah, she's totally maxed out. Just because of the combination of healing and status and whatnot, that's just always been part of the team. Then, because of this part of the story, Tama, who I had in my earlier video on this, is doing something else, so I have two-player Tama, which is interesting. I got this from the Coliseum, of course. 2P Tama. And I named it Crystal, which is similar to the meaning of Tama. Okay, anyway. So I've got 3, and I've got most of this stuff maxed out. So we'll put one down. I don't need Libra, really. Yay! What else? Skelly has 4. This one's got... See, this is the Death Skull that I evolved this from. So this isn't like a real... original princess, undead princess, but close enough. And you can see by looking at the other one how many more ability nodes the other one has. So the originals are definitely better. But as far as the abilities that set this type of Mirage apart, they're both kind of the same. But in state, at its highest level, Undead Princess with the Star is going to be much stronger. That's just the way it is. Accuracy or magic. Let's go with that. What else we got? Nobody else have anything interesting? This one's got 4 now. I will go on record. No, she's maxed. What am I doing? I'll go on record to say that Quacho Queen is probably the most attractive, just general Mirage design. But it's also, I guess it's just because it looks like a person. It's kind of like the way Shiva looks like a person, so it's not anything special. But this is the way, if I was to think about like a Mirage, it would be like this. Just like a monster that's a princess. Not like taking a Quacho and turning it into a humanoid. That I don't understand how that works. But whatever. And then of course the claws are awesome. You get the left and right claw, it boosts their output. They synchronize. For what it's worth. Got 6 on Ifrit. Magic plus. Have any abilities I want to unlock? Move. HP accuracy. Magic. You got 2 that I can upgrade the magic on. Accuracy. Yay! He's almost at his filled up level as well. Hey, this guy. I do like him. He's maxed out too, though. The XL Mirages or Mega Mirages are awesome because of while they do take up the spot of both stacks temporarily, their stats are so high that it's definitely a boost. It's almost like you can bring in a whole nother set of stacks during a battle. But now I'm rambling. What are we doing? Let's go back. I've been on this for like half an hour. Let's call it a day. It's a very creative map. Alright. Items. Miscellany. Teleporto. Yes. Take me back to where I started. So that wasn't too spoilery, really, was it? Just grind out a few levels, get some EXP, yo. But, yeah, this is a super fun game. I can't wait to finish it. Hopefully I will finish it a little bit before Final Fantasy X and X2 come. I have actually ordered those from Play Asia. Unsolicited endorsement, Play Asia sells the Asian release, which has both of the things in the cartridge. I think I've mentioned that before, but to me that's a big deal. Like if for example, Well, I can't think of a real-world example that's really good. But let's say you're like me and you happen to be traveling around and you're in a situation where you can't easily download a thing or something like that, then having the cartridge is just nice. But having a cartridge where you buy it and then you have to wait for it to download... Okay, exactly, this exact thing happened. Which one was it? Resident Evil. Okay, I got Resident Evil when I was traveling, and the hotel internet was not doing it for me. And I mean, most of the game had to be pulled down, if I recall correctly, something like that. But it was like it kept messing up. So I had the game box, and the game box was in my suitcase, and I had to wait until I got home. It was dumb. As if I went to the store and bought that thing, I should have been able to just pop it in there and play it. And maybe that makes me an old person, and maybe I need to get with the times. But in reality, you can't get online. You can't get online on airplanes. There are certain places where you can't get. You're not going to have the bandwidth where you're staying. So it makes it a lot less portable. And meanwhile, conversely, there are games that need to be online that run perfectly, like Warframe. Warframe's 100% download only, and it only plays when it's connected to the internet. And yet, I've been able to play that in the airport, tethered to my phone, with no problem at all. So I guess it has to do with the publisher. But once again, I'm rambling. This has been SwitchCat playing World of Final Fantasy Maxima on Switch, and it's fun. And I do recommend it if you are into this kind of game, because it's really almost it's like a standalone Final Fantasy game. It's like a standalone Final Fantasy game that's founded upon old school Final Fantasy Easter eggs, basically. So, I love it. Anyway, you guys be good and have a good day. Bye.